Good morning. It's Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself. And today I want to talk about chronic illness and all those lost years of suffering. So I know that when we talk about the mind body work, often people can get very turned off of mind body work, and they can often not do the healing work that is necessary because they're stuck in this one area. And the one area is, but I lost my life due to this illness. I lost my life to the doctors, to the medication, to whatever it was that hurt me, that shouldn't have happened. I lost my life to whatever it is, to this thing that happened to me. I was a victim. I was innocent. Somebody did something to me, caused me harm, caused my body harm, my mind harm, my emotions harm, and it wasn't right. And what happened was the resulted illness, and I lost all these years of my life to it. And so a lot of times people resist, and it's natural to resist forgiving, and it's natural to resist accepting, and letting that go. Because it feels like by letting go or by accepting or by forgiving, we're condoning. And so I need to make this clarification because it's often why people can't heal. It's often this hold up, this look at everything I lost and it wasn't right. And I'm never going to think it's okay. I'm never going to think that what happened to me is okay. What they did to me or what was done to me or what happened was okay. It's not okay. And there's a part inside you that feels this was not right. This is not okay. And I'm a victim because of it. And so people who are trying to heal often hold on to this victim identity because they were victimized and because what happened to them was wrong. But when you create an identity around you being a victim, you're always coming from a place of powerlessness. You're not able to climb out from it and take your power back, which keeps people from healing. And even if people want to forgive, want to accept, want to move forward, want to let go, there's a little voice inside of them that says, but I'm never going to be okay with that. And they try to deny this voice because they say, I should forgive, I should be able to forgive, I should be able to accept, I should be able to let go. I should truly be able to, let go of this in order to move on. And they beat themselves up when they can't make themselves feel it, right? Because you can tell yourself you should be able to forgive and that you should be able to let it go. But if you can't, if your body's holding on to it, if your mind in the back of your head, that little voice is saying, but I'll never be able to forgive. And you know deep down that it is just not okay for you. And you're never really truly going to be able to forgive it or accept it or let it go. But you think that you should in order to heal, then what happens is you carry around a guilt and judgment and criticism for yourself, which you carry around all the time, which can be more harmful than actually not being able to let go or forgive. Because if you're okay with that, if you're truly okay with, I'm never going to be okay with what happened to me, I'm never going to be okay with the lost years, that's not okay with me, but I am taking my power back and I am moving forward. That's a stronger position than I should be able to forgive. I should be able to let go. I know that if I hold on to this, it's just going to hurt me and keep me stuck. And this like criticism and blame that you put on yourself, right? And that keeps people stuck longer than actually not forgiving and not accepting. So I want you to do this for me because this is important. To do this for yourself because this is important. I want you in your meditation or your journaling or your talk therapy or whatever therapy that you're using to acknowledge your existing emotions and feelings, I want you to think about how you feel, how you truly feel about what happened to you? How does it make you feel? And what can't you forgive? What don't you want to let go of? What don't you want to move past, and why? And maybe the reason is you don't want to let go of it because it was just wrong, and you want other people to know that something happened to you that was wrong. Or maybe it's because you don't want it to happen to anyone else. Or maybe it's because you feel like you deserve a break, or you want people to understand you, or you want to be acknowledged, or you want to be heard, or you want to be respected, or you want to be taken care of. So there's a need there because of what happened to you. You now have a new need. That if that thing never happened to you, you wouldn't need to be taken care of, or you wouldn't need to be heard, or you wouldn't need to be acknowledged, or you wouldn't need to be witnessed, or you wouldn't need to be right, to be heard. You wouldn't need to be whatever it is, right? You wouldn't have this need. But because something happened to you, you have this need. And so when you sit with your work, you're saying, what can I let go of? What will I never really truly feel? And it's okay to be completely honest with yourself. What will I really truly never feel is okay? And be honest. Hear your soul speaking. This is your soul, right? You can't turn it off. This is your true essence that is telling you, hey, listen, you're trying to make me forgive. You're trying to make me let go. You're trying to make me be this person who's good in the world and does it perfectly and forgives and is okay with what happened. And hey, I'm just never going to be okay with that. It was wrong, and this is how I feel, and this is my soul speaking. And like, hear that soul. That's your inner child. Like, love that inner child. Your child is trying to express something. And your rational grown-up self is saying, hey, you're never going to be okay. You're never going to heal unless you forgive. You're never going to heal unless you accept. But the truth is, you're never going to be okay unless you acknowledge what your inner child is telling you. And for you to say, I love you just the way you are. And even if you never forgive that, even if you can never let go of that, even if you have these needs that need to be filled for the rest of your life, I love you. And I hear you, I see you, I acknowledge you, and I forgive you. I accept you. The acceptance and the forgiveness and the letting go is not for the other person. It's not for the situation. It's not for what happened. It's for you. So forgive yourself. Accept yourself for having these feelings that you can't let go of. Forgive yourself for feeling hatred or anger or feeling like a victim or still feeling the grief or the sadness or the resentment. Forgive yourself. This is the work that you need to look at. You need to look at it and say, I feel this way. I feel like a victim. And even though I'm trying not to be a victim, I feel like one. Or I feel angry. And even though I know I shouldn't hold and live my life with this anger, I feel this anger. Really acknowledge what it's from, where it came from, who it's to, what it's for, and you will see that your soul is just trying to say something happened that I'm not really okay with. And the reason why I'm not allowing you to let it go is because I want it to be okay for me to feel this and for you to accept me and love me and forgive me and to take your power back even though that's there. And so you must learn to love and accept and forgive yourself and find a way to say this happened and these are my feelings and I may never be able to not feel this way. But even though I have this anger, I'm going to allow myself to feel it and still love myself, still trust myself, still have my power, not give my power away to that situation or those people that I feel anger towards. Or maybe your issues that you feel needy, you feel helpless, you feel like a victim, you want to be rescued and saved, and you have this need to be acknowledged and taken care of. And maybe that's okay. You need to accept that that's just how you feel. And even though you know that it's wrong to be a victim, even though you know that that victim mentality is not serving you and not helping you, that's how you feel. And you've got to accept that those are your feelings. So the acceptance isn't about what happened. The acceptance is that you still have these feelings. Accept yourself. Acknowledge these are here and I accept them because I fully love myself and I forgive myself for having them, even though they could be hurting me, even though those feelings and the way I'm not able to let go of this victimhood could be hurting me. I accept myself and I love myself anyways. That's what all this is about. And then you say, and even though I have those feelings, I want to take my power back anyway. Even though I feel like a victim, I don't have to live my life from being a victim. Even though I'm never going to think what was okay, what happened was okay. And even though I know I have this need to be taken care of or to be acknowledged or seen or heard, or I feel helpless a lot of the time, that's not how I want to choose my life, live my life going forward. I want to choose to take my power back here. And the first and most best way that you can take your power back is by accepting what is, accepting what you truly feel, what your soul wants you to acknowledge and hear, whether it's good for you or not. This is truth that your soul is telling you. And instead of resisting it and trying to say, no, don't feel this way, the anger's bad, the victimhood's bad, it's all bad, make it go away, you're only hurting yourself, and then resenting yourself and beating yourself up and criticizing yourself and judging yourself because somehow you're to blame, blaming yourself for not being healed yet. That's how you're keeping yourself sick. So what you really need to do is acknowledge, like, these are my deepest feelings. And even though I don't think they're the healthiest feelings, and even though I wish I could change them, I wish I could forgive, or I wish I could let go, or I wish I could see it differently, I don't. This is how I feel, and that's okay. I love myself. I accept myself anyway, and I choose to take my power back anyway. I choose to take my power back by loving myself, by forgiving myself, and by stopping beating up myself, right? You take your power back by saying, today I'm going to live my life with a peace, with an acceptance of who I am, with a deep love for myself. That's taking your power back, making decisions out of self-love, out of self-care, out of self-forgiveness, out of understanding and compassion and kindness for your true self, your soul, your inner child. That is how we move forward. That is how we take our power back. Right? It's not about changing what is or changing those deep feelings that we don't even want to have and we acknowledge aren't maybe the best feelings for us, but we accept us just as we are. That's unconditional and radical acceptance and radical self-love. We love and accept ourselves just as we are. And knowing that, we can still want better for ourselves and want more, but we don't abandon ourselves or judge ourselves or have inner critic to ourselves or treat ourselves badly or talk to ourselves badly. We can acknowledge what is and then still say, but I choose today to not live. I might feel like a victim, but I choose not to live my life from a victim mentality. I choose to make powerful decisions on what I know is right and what is wrong, on what I believe to be true and not to be true, on what's good for me and what's wrong for me, what's right for me and what's wrong for me. It's about knowing your authentic soul and choosing, stepping into your own power and choosing to live your life from a place that acknowledges what you believe is right and wrong and making that voice heard and acknowledging that voice, the voice that you want to bring into your future, and the voice that's calling you from the past to look at it and to hear it. You acknowledge both of them, and you're going to choose what is right for you moving forward, and to acknowledge what is right now. And so be kind to yourself. Acknowledge those feelings. Feel those feelings. It's okay that your feelings conflict from the feeling that you want to have and the feeling that you actually do have, from the personality traits that you want to have and the personality traits that you actually do have, from the forgiveness that you want to be able to have and the unforgiveness that you actually do feel, or the the hurt feelings that you actually feel. So we love ourselves. We love it. We love ourselves. We are unconditionally accepting of all of that. That's what it is to feel your deepest feelings. It's to say, my soul says this, but I'm trying to get it to say this. And we stop trying to get it to say. We acknowledge what it's actually saying. And then we say, I hear you, I see you, I accept you, and I love you. But that doesn't mean that we're going to live our life from that point of view or that state. We want better for ourselves. We want to shift to a new future, a new pattern, right? A new way of thinking, a new personality trait, a new behavior, a new way of thinking, but not by denying what is, but by acknowledging and accepting and loving what is and saying, and we can do better. And we can make a better life because we know this, because we've felt this, because we don't want the same mistakes repeated, because we want to make a better life for everyone involved. And because I know what feels right and wrong to me, and I'm going to hold my power in what I know is right and wrong for me, and I'm going to make decisions out of that. And for what I want for myself moving forward. And I'm going to make the decisions that move my life in a better direction. But never denying the child that's trying to speak to you, or that inner soul voice that still longs to be heard or recognized or seen or loved or cared for. So we have to be compassionate, bring all the compassion and the kindness and the love and the forgiveness and the acceptance to ourselves. That is our daily job, as we also boldly choose with a sense of power what we want for our future. So I hope this video has been helpful, and I will see you in the next one.